I'm Carla Damaris, and I'm going to talk about one strand of the Common Core state standards as it runs from kindergarten through 12th grade. I will be discussing the first writing standard, writing arguments. The Common Core is a system of educational standards that have been adopted by most of the United States and is in the process of being implemented in the state of Maine. As a system, it has a logical progression that builds proficiency in small chunks. The standards are divided by general grade levels: elementary in grades K through 5, middle school in grades 6 through 8, and high school in grades 9 through 12. To see the way the progression works, we will look at the individual grade levels for writing standard number 1, writing arguments. Beginning at the elementary level, students are shown how to recognize their ideas in their minds and then let loose those ideas on the world. The kindergarten standard requires students to use a combination of drawing, dictating, and writing to compose opinion pieces in which they tell a reader the topic or the name of the book they are writing about and state an opinion or preference about the topic or book. Let's take a closer look. A kindergarten student may not have yet learned how to write, so the standard offers alternatives, such as drawing or dictating, a very developmentally appropriate expectation. Further, kindergartners are not asked to compose arguments, but instead to compose opinion pieces. Anyone who has known a 5-year-old definitely knows that they are quite capable of having an opinion. Rather than allowing their opinions to run rampant, the kindergartners are asked to focus that opinion on a specific topic or book. When the students move on to first grade, they have similar standards to meet, but with a slightly elevated skill level. While in kindergarten, they could dictate or draw, but now they must write their opinions and supply a reason for them. They also must find some suitable way to end their writing. In second grade, they are asked to use language more skillfully by providing linking words, and their suitable endings must now take the form of a concluding statement or section. In grade 3, a rather unfortunate term is used in conjunction with opinion. The term point of view is used in this case to mean the perspective from which the opinion originates. Although definitionally correct, it has the potential to create confusion for the student when the term is encountered elsewhere in the study of English language and literature, where it will indicate what type of narration is being used. In addition to dealing with the concept of point of view, grade 3 students are expected to create an organizational structure for their writing, as well as use linking phrases instead of just linking words. Fourth graders are expected to increase their clarity of writing as well as add more facts and details. Grade 5 is not much different from grade 4, asking that reasons be logically ordered. Also, use of clauses is added to words and phrases for linking opinions and reasons. This carries with it the assumption that students will also know what words, phrases, and clauses are. I seriously doubt that my current 9th graders know the difference between phrases and clauses. Note to self, talk to freshmen about phrases and clauses. This is where we move on to the middle school. So far, the increase in expectations for each year does not seem overwhelming. There are very few countable items added to each subsequent year, as shown by the small ratio of red to black print. But we also must factor in the developmental increases that occur year to year. A 5th grader's essay should not look like a 1st grader's that has had a few minor elements tacked on. The assessment that the teacher gives must take natural language development into account, as well as maturity of thought and expression. When grade 6 is reached, the language of the standards changes. Instead of writing opinion pieces, they are writing arguments. Instead of point of view, they are dealing with claims. Instead of reasons, they are given evidence. Their evidence must now be relevant, and their sources must be credible. In addition, they must maintain formal style. Grade 7 seems to be about logic, accuracy, and cohesion. and grade 8 seems to be about opposing claims and counterclaims. As we move on to high school, there is not the language change that we have seen between elementary and middle school. But there are increased expectations for substance, reasoning, and evidence. Consideration of the audience also comes into play, as well as attention to norms and conventions. If we follow the established progression of the Common Core to its logical end, we find ourselves at grade 11 and 12, where all of the elements of a well-written essay should be found. There are things I like about this plan and things I do not. I like the way each year builds on the previous years. Theoretically, this is good. The problem that I see with this is that the complete essay does not emerge until 11th and 12th grade. Norms and conventions are not even mentioned until 9th and 10th grade. But then again, this one strand does not exist in a vacuum. At the same time the students are learning about argumentative writing, they are also working on the language standards, and these do teach about conventions from an early age. My overall opinion of the Common Core is that it is a good thing to pursue. As with anything, it has its flaws, and I am sure that more flaws will become apparent the more we use them. It is, however, a well-thought-out document that allows for gradual advancement of the student. The biggest challenge appears to be in preparing and retraining teachers to use them. We are all creatures of habit, and it is hard to change. One of its greatest strengths is in its modular design, which can be taught in many different ways and with many different types of instruction. I guess the challenge is to know how to fit all the pieces together and to know how to assess those pieces.